Alrighty, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. Today, we're going to react to what happened in Kenan and Kel. The shocking, weird way Kenan and Kel ended. It did end kind of weird, but then we got that little Halloween scary movie or whatever they was trying to give us. And well, it was good. Then they had that Cousin Skeeter crossover with Kenan and Kel and Cousin Skeeter. They had that crossover. I'm still trying to find that, bro, because it's hard to find. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find. That's something on my shirt. Fuck. But yeah, man, that shit is hard to find. That Cousin Skeeter crossover, bro. That Cousin Skeeter crossover, hands down, might be it's just for nostalgic reasons, bro. For me, bro. For real. I'm trying to find that Kenan and Kel Cousin Skeeter crossover movie, bro. It was a two-parter too. I'm trying to find it though. I'm only been able to find the second part of it. I want to find the first part of it so that way I can watch it all together. You know what I'm saying? Just for nostalgic reasons. I love Kenan and Kel. I love Cousin Skeeter. I love the 90s Nickelodeon. The 90s Nickelodeon was legit, bro. Still ain't fucking with Cartoon Network. Let's just keep it real. Cartoon Network is the GOAT, hands down. Ain't no debate about it. Cartoon Network was the GOAT of the cartoons. Of the cartoon channels, Cartoon Network was the GOAT. All Nickelodeon had was SpongeBob. No debate. Anyways, though, let's check this out.
Before we had Drake and Josh, we had the OG.
Facts. And I hate people that say Drake and Josh is the best show that Nickelodeon ever created. You want to know why I hate that? Because Drake and Josh is the white people version of Kenan and Kel. It's a fact, my nigga. It's a fact. Drake and Josh is the white people version of Kenan and Kel. Y'all not gonna keep disrespecting Kenan and Kel like that. Kenan and Kel is way better. It's actually more funnier. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit up here and say Drake and Josh was a bad show. No. I would never say that. I would never say it was a bad show. No, this show was fucking amazing, bro. Drake and Josh was fucking amazing. They had their moments, but they just weren't Kenan and Kel, bro. Come on, man. You hear the theme song? Put this theme song up against their theme song. This theme song wins 10 times out of 10. It ain't even close. Come on, man. Kenan and Kel is levels to this, bro. It's just levels to this, bro. Kenan and Kel is just on another level, bro. And I need people to put some respect on that, bro. Kenan and Kel is not a relic of the past. Kenan and Kel damn near was holding down Nickelodeon in the 90s. If we being honest. I'm just being real. But that's just me, though.
Dynamic duo Kenan and Kel, a powerhouse force from their work together on all back to their own show, and of course, the legendary Good Burger. We shall cover that hopefully soon. The perfect comedic timing playing off each other, with Kenan's strict man always looking to get ahead attitude, battling Kel's sporadic and borderline absurdity constantly getting in the way. Spanning 4 seasons with a total of 62 episodes, the show tail-ended the 90s with a masterclass in acting off of one another. As much as I'd like to sit here and gush about how great of a show Kenan and Kel was, we are actually going to talk about the ending of the show, specifically episodes 63 through 65, which was played as a TV movie titled Two Heads Are Better Than None.
Oh, and so we are talking about this.
Spooky, what better time to talk about it than October?
Ah, let's go! Okay, so we are talking about this. I thought we was talking about the very last episode. Yeah, the very last episode was just a regular episode. It was like, wow, really? Let's check it out.
The movie starts off noticeably different from the show in the context of no studio audience.
Yes.
And it's shot like a movie rather than a sitcom.
Yes.
The Rockmores are just about ready to leave on their cross-country drive, but Kel shows up ready to tag along until getting a firm no from Roger and Cheryl. So Kenan and Kyra hide Kel within the luggage in the back of the car and hope to keep that hidden until they are far enough they can't just turn back. This quickly goes awry when Kel begins making some noise that concerns Roger, who goes to check the surroundings of the car for any issues with the tires. And when seeing that nothing is wrong, gets hungry and goes to grab a snack out of the back, where Kel hands him a sandwich. It takes him a few moments to realize he was just handed a sandwich, so he goes back to see Kel hidden in the trunk. After some convincing, Kel is officially allowed to be a part of the trip, proceeding to even more quickly annoy them all during the drive. Now, did you notice something else missing from these opening moments? Well, the show itself always started with Kenan and Kel having some banter back and forth in front of a studio audience before introducing the episode itself. Here, we don't see that. Instead, after the Coolio theme song, we just enter the movie. But oddly enough, there is a bit that wasn't played for TV, but rather was shown only on the iTunes release, wherein which Kenan and Kel walk out like they usually would, but there isn't an audience. There is no laughter, no noise, just Kenan explaining to Kel that they are going on a road trip, so there is no audience. And Kel tries his hardest to understand that. Funny enough, there is a laugh track on this version on iTunes that feels so much more out of place than the version without it. You'd think after explaining that there is no live audience, that means no laughter. But for some reason on iTunes, there is. I can't remember when it originally premiered on TV if it had the laugh track or not, but watching it the way I did, where there was not, since there was no live studio audience.
It didn't. I remember this vividly. They played this off as a movie. They kept hyping this up as the Kenan and Kel movie. I was thinking like, Kenan and Kel movie? So you talking about Good Burger? It was like, nah, Kenan and Kel the show, the movie. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I remember this, bro. Bro, y'all gotta understand, bro. I'm from back in the days, bro. I was born in 94. I came up off this Nickelodeon shit. You can't tell me nothing. Okay, you can't tell me nothing about this shit. You can't tell me nothing about no Cartoon Network, no Nickelodeon, no Disney Channel. You can't tell me shit. Saturday morning cartoons. You can't tell me shit. I live this shit, homie. Y'all niggas gotta experience. Y'all niggas experiencing it with me, bruh. You niggas just going back. You niggas just going back through the highlights, nigga. I experienced this, nigga. Nigga, y'all don't understand. Television was the shit back in the day, bruh. Cause there was so much content to digest. Now there's no content to digest anymore.
Is the superior way to watch it. And that's just my opinion, but hey, do what you want, it's your life.
Kenan and Kel star in the original Nick claim 2 heads are better than none.
They kept promoting it as a movie.
And 2 heads are better than none. Their first resting point on the trip is camping out rather than getting a hotel, so we get Roger singing in the voice that clearly isn't his.
Man, that stunk.
And then they are all surprised and scared by the ketchup-loving duo of Shelley and Shelley Wilson.
Yeah, the Wilsons, yeah.
With more mentions of ketchup in case.
Thanks for giving us that ketchup.
On the campfire telling ghost stories, Kenan finds himself walking alone in the woods where he sees a headless knight.
They was happy as hell about that ketchup, wasn't they? They was so happy about that damn ketchup. It was like, thank you for letting us borrow your ketchup. They was so, that was cool people. Hey, the Wilsons was some cool people, bro.
Exclaiming, I want your head. Causing him to freak out and run back to the campsite where no one believes his story. They all make fun of him. Cheryl makes a joke about it, causing Kel to hit her over the head with a guitar. Kenan runs into a tree. It's a magically spooky time for all of them. And the next day on the road, they spot a sign advertising the Believe It or Else Museum, so after the majority of the car says yes to it, Roger drives the car to the museum where we run back into the Shelley. Oh, joy. And going on the theme of basketball players being referenced and even making cameos in the series, we see the head of Dennis Rodman made out of meat. And that's neat. A monkey plays Superstition by Stevie Wonder, and everyone just breaks into a dance and sing-along. I mean, if you license out a song, you might as well use it if you got it. Kel ends up destroying the whole place with the world's biggest ball of string. People running in fear, large lemons being knocked over, cars being crushed. Okay, this dude had plenty of time to avoid that. Come on now. Before leaving the scene of the crime, Kenan sees the Headless Knight as an exhibit at the museum and begins reading the tale of the Headless Knight out to everyone. And still, no one believes him. One of the employees backs up his claims of it being real and the last sighting being in a place called Rockville.
There's no such town as Rockville.
Oh yeah, Roger? What do you call this?
Rockville.
That night at a motel, Kenan and Kel are settling in for bed. A noise startles Kenan. The sounds of armor moving can be heard and the door handle is jiggling. A red light shines through as it opens with nothing outside. But behind Kenan is the Headless Knight. And he's just standing there, menacingly. Kenan wakes up from this nightmare only to find the same red light shining through once more and the silhouette of a Headless Knight holding an axe raised above in the air. But it's quickly interrupted because Kel hits him with a fly swatter. And the illusion disappears. But the door was wide open with a slightly less luminous red light coming through. And here comes one of the best lines in the film in general when Kenan asks Kel why is the door open.
I didn't want to open a window because who knows, a stranger could come through the window.
It's moments like this banter here that make the entire series such a classic for me. It's just the way that they deliver their lines. With Kel still finding a way to make things worse with the bed massager going off all night, just the whole constant barrage of terrible things happening to Kenan and how he's dealing with them is just perfection at the end of the series. Then we legit get to see some highway robbery with changing gas prices and more annoyances for Kenan as well, of course. An old man comes and warns the family to stay away from Rockville. What's the matter with Rockville? I've been there many a times. Nice places to eat, nice parks. What's not to like? Guess we shall find out. Shortly down the road, their car breaks down and they are going to be saved now by the Shelleys who are passing by. Just kidding, they just waved and thanked them for the ketchup. Classic Shelley and Shelley moment. So back to that being stranded thing. So Kenan and Kel head to the nearest town to look for help, and it happens to be Rockville. What in the world? Rockville? I don't know if I'm scared or if this is the origins of my superpowers. Either way, Rockville. It's then revealed that Kel pulled out some wires from the car because he thought they were pretty, meaning that once again Kel is a menace to the Rockmores while drinking water in the rain. 5 people are going to get that joke. They make their way to Rockville, seeing a mansion on top of a hill in what seems like a desolate town. After walking through the gate, it is then locked back up by a hooded figure. Oh boy, I love the spooky season. A stoic-looking butler answers the door, unamused by Kel's doorbell antics and dance moves. They are then led into the mansion, showcasing the horrifying interior with eyeballs and paintings, a full suit of armor, and this guy, Arthur. This whole scene is why I think this movie works so well in being an interesting divergence from the main show's sitcom formula while retaining what made it special in the first place. By transcending the way this media is told, it proves that beyond the sitcom, this duo has that same perfect flow between one another without the pauses for laughter. Unless you're watching the iTunes version. Don't do that. Here, they are taking so many well-known and overused horror tropes, car breaks down, scary mansion, scary man, scary headless man, and so much more, but adding in their unique Kenan and Kel twists in which makes it more special. Teetering that line of an interesting story being told and being an outright parody of the genre.
With Kenan and Kel tonight at 7, 6 Central on the Nickelodeon.
Full hour of Kenan and Kel. This Saturday at 8:30, 7:30 Central. In Snake.
Bro, they was hyping this shit up, bro. I remember they was hyping this shit up.
And their grandfather. This guy's grandfather, not Kenan or Kel's. All as guests who had their own driving troubles causing them to stumble upon the same place. Arthur invites them all to join him for dinner as the storm becomes increasingly worse outside. All the while, the rest of the Rockmores are dealing with the weather back at the car. And watch this. Rockville. You want to see me do it again? Rockville. Okay, I'll stop. With great power comes great laughs or whatever. At the dinner, one by one, excuses pushing certain guests to leave the room happen with those guests not returning. This scene is another powerhouse performance of how Kel completely loses himself in the role and how Kenan, being overly cautious about everything, has to divert Kel from being while Kel, at the same time, directing attention to the oddities happening all around. From a scream to the food, and of course a moment when Arthur's neck begins to leak out water. Arthur quickly leaves the room, then exclaiming about never wearing this head again after tonight, showing that his head is fully detachable and that the legends heard and the fears Kenan has are true. We also hear about the missing guests being put in a dungeon. While returning, everyone at the table is discussing the legend of the Headless Knight thanks to Kenan, so Kel starts spilling the beans about the rest of the legend to Arthur despite Kenan's best attempt to get him to shut up. After Arthur tries to dispel the rumors, they then get offered to spend the night as the weather remains pretty bad outside. Which is worse, being trapped in an awful thunderstorm in a broken down car or stuck inside the house of a potential headless knight? What? I can't fully say he's a knight just yet. We only know that he's headless. The knight outfits that we've seen mean nothing to me, good sir. Once they are in their room, another scream captures their attention and they have to find a way to break out of the room quickly after realizing that they were trapped in. After Kel uses his head to bust the door open, they are now walking through the hallway with the butler following right behind them. And with every attempt he pulls to grab Kel fails in the most Kel of ways. Let's just call this movie Kel Causes Everything Bad to Happen, the movie. From the guitar hit to the string ball to the car and now everything in the mansion. Luckily, in that case, they found an entrance to the dungeon. Unluckily, Arthur was right behind them and corners them, causing them to ramble out a pick your best list of excuses until Arthur approaches them and Kenan knocks his head clean off his body with a book. The disembodied head warns them that their heads are next as they run down the dungeon, and the brainless body is searching for where the head is on the floor. Now, in a more morbid scene, we see the Shelleys about to have their heads removed, and we see the heads of the other guests as just heads. It's one thing when the head is, alive, like with Arthur, but those heads are clearly just, dead. Those people are dead. But Kenan and Kel play it off like, no big deal, just some heads of people we saw alive just moments ago, it's okay. Arthur comes down to attack them, which leads to his head being removed once again, and Kenan and Kel start playing hot potato with it. Along with some upbeat elevator music in the background, it really eases the tension of the other.
No, they was playing the Harlem Globetrotters theme song in the background. See, this is why white people so uncultured.
Deadheads. As the sun is starting to shine through, signaling the morning, Kenan, Kel, and the Shelleys fight back against the lackeys and make their escape outside. Before freedom, however, the gate is still locked. Remember that hooded figure? And when dodging an axe thrown at them by Arthur, it breaks the chains and they head towards the Shelleys' car. But Arthur is still in hot pursuit with the axe. Nope, never mind, that still didn't work this time. Man, this guy has taken a lot of L's. No wonder he lost his head as a knight, because he doesn't seem to be a very good one. I thought you said he wasn't classified as a knight yet because we haven't seen Arthur in the actual armor. Well, I guess you're right, or I'm wrong. Hey, wait a minute. Who are you? Me? I'm the ghost of the old version of the logo for this channel that all the comments demand back. Okay, ouch, that's rude. But please, do continue on though. As they're getting away in the car, Arthur then removes his head once again and throws it at the car, landing on its hood ornament. Then, thanks to a stop sign, it falls off, but the body jumps on the back of the car. The rest of the Rockmores finally have their car fixed thanks to Kyra, and they end up crossing paths with the Shelleys, so Kenan and Kel say goodbye and leave their car. But they do notice that Arthur's body is still holding onto the back of it, and the Shelleys just drive away. Of course, the family doesn't believe their stories and drives back to the mansion to see if their stories are real, and then Roger is greeted by the head of Arthur still on the side of the road asking for help. He doesn't say a word, and he peels out of there faster than when he wanted to leave Kel on the side of the road after discovering him in the back of the car. And that's it. That's the end. Are we not going to talk about the actual dead people? The lifeless heads on the table? Hello?
And why they had to be my black brothers and sisters, man? That ain't fair, man. Why they had to be my black brothers and sisters, man? Why my sister and my black brother had to be the ones to get their heads chopped off? Why we couldn't just go out with a bang? Why couldn't everybody just make it out? I mean, I understand you could have had the old white dude get his head chopped off, but we could have walked out with everybody else, bruh. It's a kids movie, man. Why we gotta be so sinister, man? We could have had some heads that was already on the table and everybody could have made it out safe, but nah. My black brother, my black sister had to lose their heads. Man. But this was the 90s though. This was the early 2000s and the 90s, bro. Black people always die first in the goddamn horror films, bro. I'm tired of this goddamn trope. I'm tired of doing this to my black people. Why we gotta die first? Why we can't be the ones that actually made it out? Because common sense would let us know to get the fuck out. If we in the woods and it's a nigga with a hockey mask slicing motherfuckers, we gone. Okay? If it's a nigga going around town slicing up niggas trying to kill his sister for some odd reason of revenge, nigga, we out. The fuck out of here. This some bullshit. They did this to my black brothers and sisters, man. We deserve better than this, man. They were doing this in the cartoons, even in the kids' horror films. Black people still gotta die first. Come on, man. Some bullshit.
Oh, alright. Little unsettling to breeze past that fact, but let's move on. On the Shelley's car, there is still the body of the Headless Knight, which, wait, hold on a second. The Headless Knight works with no head. That's why he's headless. And with the options he's lined up for head swapping, as we know that he can do, why is the head still the brains and not the body who is treated like a fumbling dum-dum? Wouldn't the tail be the bodiless knight? Why is everyone yelling at me about the bodiless head design compared to my previous bodiless head design? Did they ever stop the string ball rampage?
Tune in to Kenan and Kel tonight, 8, 7 Central, only on Snake.
It's a gift drop, Kenan and Kel, 6 till 2, today, only on Nickelodeon.
Nah, it ain't all that serious. Maybe the whole getting roasted about my new logo is words do hurt, you know, but regardless, the movie has a ton of plot holes, unresolved situations, and it's all over. That's it. The entire series of Kenan and Kel is over. We never even got to see them get to their real destination on the road trip. But, you know,
that is true. We never really understood where the fuck was they going. That's another thing too. Where the fuck was they going on this road? They just said we going on a road trip. Didn't have no fucking destination. Just went on a road trip. With no destination. But this was not the last one though. There was a spinoff. There was the crossover episode with Cousin Skeeter. There was the crossover episode with Cousin Skeeter, and then after that, there was no more Kenan and Kel. Sadly, there was no more Kenan and Kel after that, because there was the Cousin Skeeter crossover, which I'm still trying to find on the internet. I've been scouring through the internet. I'm even willing to pay to see it, but for some odd reason, Cousin Skeeter just isn't available. I don't know why.
So, just how a lot of the episodes would end throughout the series, this is kind of on brand, as this would be the only part of the narrative they wanted to tell, and it's come to its natural conclusion. Albeit, I still wanted to see where they went. What's nice, though, is that it does actually feel like a soft ending for the series, meaning that if they wanted to come back with another season, or another TV movie, or anything in relation, it could work out. I mean, that 2-part moving away set of episodes at the end of Season 2 felt more like an ending to the series with how serious they set those episodes to be.
They did.
Truly glad they didn't end it there. At least the ending playing into the horror genre made sense to have it come out during the spooky month. Wait, this came out in July? Alrighty then, that's fine I guess, but the real crime here is no Chris. Makes sense he's not here, but at least a nod, references, a cameo at the museum, something.
Facts, Chris wasn't in here too. Chris wasn't in here. And old girl wasn't in here. I forgot her name. What was her name? Monique or something? Monica or Monique? It was one of them two. And then you had Chris. Oh, man. Everybody was left out except for... But, I mean, it works out. It worked out either way. It would have been nice, though, if Chris magically popped up at the mansion. That would have been a nice nod. Either he popped up at the mansion or he popped up when they went to the museum. When they went to the museum or when they went to the mansion. It would have been a nice nod to see Chris pop up.
Something, especially since the real regular final episode is just a take on a clip show, and while those can sometimes be fun, it just never feels like a proper send-off. So with this being the end of the series, it did end in a shockingly weird way. While it still had that same humor, it wasn't shot as a sitcom, it wasn't based upon some culminating event from the show prior. It honestly felt like a live-action Scooby-Doo setup.
Yep.
Just minus the dog. But it still had that Kenan and Kel DNA all throughout it. So yeah, while it was weird, it was still a very very fun time. I never would have pictured this concept for the finale of the series, but hey, I'll take it. Kenan and Kel meant a lot to me growing up and paved the way for its spiritual successor, Drake and Josh, to continue to soar with a great formula behind it. I love that this send-off for the show ended in a way that didn't feel like a goodbye, but rather a fun celebration of how ridiculous the show can be while still having its heart on its sleeve through and through. I love the show, Kenan and Kel. I still love the show. Maybe we will dive into it more down the road. Let's just hope our car doesn't break down.
No problem.
Let me know your thoughts on how Kenan and Kel ended, as well as your general thoughts on the show as a whole. I appreciate you all watching, and make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter for updates on my content and more. I'll be back with another video soon, but until then, later.
Oh man, this was a dope one, man. But I'm still trying to. Hey man, if any of y'all find the goddamn, if y'all find the full version of the Kenan and Kel and Cousin Skeeter crossover, if y'all find that full version, let me know. Let me know. I'm still trying to find that, bro. I really want to watch it just for nostalgic reasons, bro. Because I only watched it that one time they aired it, and they never really aired it again. So yeah, that's just gonna about do it for this one. I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, peace out.